everyone, and welcome. This is Karen Newman. This is the Saturday Human Colony Hucolo webinar. It is Saturday, the 24th, I think, of April, 2021. We have today a very special guest from the UK. Her name is Melanie Frampton. She's a medium, a psychic. She's a channel. She's a leader, a healer. She does all kinds of different things. We're going to do a little bit of a different thing than we normally do, but I'm very excited to have her here. Summer, I'm going to mute you because she's typing. Yeah, thank you. And we have in our room today, I'll just start at the top. We have David, Yana, Joan, Celeste, Sean, Summer, Susan. All the S's are here again. That's crazy. And Christine and Melanie, of course. And Daniel. Did I say them? Anyway, I'm talking really fast. I had too much coffee, I think. So welcome, Melanie. It's so nice to talk to you. I'm going to make you I'm going to ask everyone to turn off the camera, and I'm going to start with Melanie for just a second. And who wants to do a blessing today? Anyone? Yana will do a blessing. Anyone else?
Yeah, I can do one.
David will do one. Okay. Anyone else? We'll just do Yana and David, and then we'll get started. So Yana, why don't we start with you, and then David, just go right after Yana. But turn on your camera, David, when you do your blessing. Okay. You're muted, Yana.
No, I'm not. I'm just silent.
Okay, great. All right. I'm hyper.
Hasta te te oko atatana katayene te tua te te oko ishtina ha te te oko atatana tate te te oko atatata. Thank you.
David?
Te araku sarah nia sur maakiate. Shun yaran yetu kura ate tamana niasana ruptikinia sambra akatite ato. Sharan yara kutura tatia nanshir katia rapa kunja. Peace, love, I am that I am, so be it, so it is.
Okay, thank you, David. All right. I'll set you as a spotlight video. Okay, so Melanie, welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's lovely to be here today with all of you.
Well, thank you so much. So you are from Bristol in the UK, and you've been working, you have a job where you work in beauty, cosmetology, and do hair, and as well as being a medium, psychic, healer. And what else are you doing?
So I do I facilitate workshops as well, all sorts of workshops, do shamanic journeying. I do crystal sound workshops to combine your higher self and your inner child workshops and do clearing with crystal sound. I did have, funnily enough, last year 3 retreats booked, but because of COVID and so forth, they all had to be obviously cancelled, but looking forward to rebooking those up again. I also teach progression circles, so that's sort of helping people to progress in their spirituality and to progress in their finding themselves basically through their own their internal energy. And I've also been running a beginners 6-week course for people that are starting to wake up to their spirituality, understanding what it is to ground their energies, to open up their chakras and understand what each chakra does, and so on and so on. So I do lots of stuff, really. I also do trance workshops. So people that would like to learn a little bit more about trance, show them the different energy between sitting in spirit and then obviously sitting with the spirit and so forth. And I also do trance demonstrations. I've only just started doing that the last sort of, I'd say 2 years on and off. but obviously because of COVID and stuff, that's kind of all got a bit stopped and so forth. But we're going to be obviously I'm going to be sort of working into getting back into all of that. I absolutely love doing channeling and trance and stuff. So it's one of my passions. But and trance healing, it's amazing. I love it. So I do lots
when
of things.
You talk about trance, because everyone here isn't familiar with that, you come from a mediumship background, so you do trance mediumship, correct?
I do, yeah. So I do mediumship, but I tend to, so a lot of people say that you or a lot of the teachings that I had was that you can either do mediumship when you let the spirit, come close to you, the loved one, so forth, and you bring the message through. But I tend to allow them to come just a little bit closer, and then I've sat in trance a lot. I sat for, I think it was 10 years every Thursday and every Wednesday for like forever. And I think when you do some of the people over where I work, where I was working in a place called Heaven Sent, they would only ever really let one trance medium guide come in with them and work with that one person all the time. But I was like, well, if you're doing evidence and you get like different people stepping in with like different gifts, then why not be able to allow different people in to do trance through you? So I have like quite a lot of different guides behind me that I can allow into the trance energy, if that makes sense.
Well, that's what we basically call channeling. Is it
channeling then? Yes, channeling. But I do some higher being stuff as well. I do lots of stuff, really, lots and lots of stuff. But channeling for me is just a passion. And in the first lockdown, I felt really passionate about helping people in the first lockdown. So I done a meditation every single day from 10 o'clock till 12 o'clock for just for the collective. So I just went into a meditation, grounded people, and then I done some channeling and done some healing for everyone. And I done that for 9 solid weeks.
Oh, nice.
From Monday to Friday. That's awesome. It was just awesome. And it gave me the time to be in that space and in that energy to be able to really pull that other aspect of myself, well, not myself, but my guides through. So the channeling really did, go step up, if that makes sense.
Doing it that much would make a huge difference every day. Just gets easier every single day.
Yeah, I got to say after the 9 weeks, I was a bit wiped out, if I'm honest. I did need to sort of step back from it then for about 3 months and just do, not do it so much and so forth. But it was just amazing to be able to help people, everywhere that was watching, just to be able to help them and understand and be able to feel, and get healing from it, because so many people were just in so much shock. So it was lovely.
Yeah, it was shocking. It's still shocking, but isn't it, we're kind of used to the shock now. So let me ask you a question. So you have a number of guides you work with. Who do you work with primarily as your guides? Are they beings you know?
My main guides.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so I have Matthew, I would say, was he is like, say, what I would call my guardian angel. He's always around me. I work with Jonathan. He's the main channel that steps in. He tends to be the first person that steps in and then gets order, if that makes sense. And then he decides who works through me. And I never really know. I just tend to say, you know what, Jonathan, I trust you. Simplicity. And, you bring through who needs to come through, basically. And I just love it. Yeah. So Jonathan's the main person.
Is he an actual person? Was he been incarnated as a person, or is he a being?
Yes, he has. Yeah, he's been incarnated as a person. Yeah. But he is energetically, he's been incarnated in this on Earth, but energetically he is from another a higher being as well. So he said he's been here, experienced the earth realm, but he's like a higher being energy. Does that make sense? But when he comes through as quite in a way he comes through as is quite a well-spoken, I would say, gentleman, but he has, he's quite a well-spoken gentleman, English gentleman when he comes through. But I know his essence is like, when I've spoken to him, like I've said, like, you know, so I've recorded some of the things. So I've done channeling, and then I've channeled, and then I've like recorded what he said. So I say, I'm going to do a session with you. Please, can you come in, and then we record, and then he'll talk to me, and then I get to listen to the recording after.
So are you true trance channel? You don't have any memory of what you've said or afterwards?
It depends. It really depends on the situation, I think. Sometimes I completely go and I find myself not here, and I tend to go off. I'll go off with like into the, like away from my body. And then there's other times, for some reason, I tend to be here and aware, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. And so when we talked briefly, I had mentioned that Human Colony was greatly focused on extraterrestrials and those beyond the earth. And so, but do you have any, and you had mentioned that you had some contact or some memory of being somewhere else.
Yeah, so from a really young child, I always sketched with what would they be called? Say pencils, but with like, what are they called? Can't think what they're called now. Were pencils anyway, all different grade pencils. And I used to sketch outer space stuff from very young. And I also lots and lots of dragons. I had a real affinity to dragons as well. And I would draw these dragons like sort of on the front of the paper, and then behind it would just be outer space type stuff. And from a very young age, I was drawing pods, like round pods that led into another pod, and I always said I wanted to be an architect, but an architect of different types of buildings because of what I used to see. I always felt like I've never really fitted in here. I feel that I don't come from this place. I've always said that. And as the time's gone on with my work, I was really into shamanic stuff and earth stuff. But I really got involved in looking up on the Crow tribe. And it makes complete sense because they're in the history of certain tribes. They say that the shaman people used to go off up to the mountains and would come back, and they would say that they had sort of interaction with, you know, higher being aliens or whatever you'd like to, you know, call them. And I used to be sort of really into that. But as the time's gone on, and I've done more and more channeling, I again found out from other people whilst I've been channeling it, I really, really do have this affinity to the Andromedan section. And I've had Andromedans come through and channel through me quite often. But again, when that tends to happen, I don't really have any recollection of it. So yeah,
so it's primarily Andromedans, no other beings like Pleiadians or any other races. I'm just saying that because we don't have a lot of people that have Andromedan connection, which is really interesting. So different.
Yeah, well, it's
Arcturians.
That's the thing. I've always known. The only way I can explain it is I've always known that there's an Andromedan section, a galaxy. I've just always known it. I can't explain it to anybody. And then I've asked around, and asked around, like, you know, you're a Pleiadian, you're Lemurian, and I'm always asking, always trying to find out, is there anybody that understands the Andromedan people? And they're like, no. And then literally I was talking
you
to
that
one,
understands them. It's you. I said it's you. You're the one that
yeah. And the only way I can explain it to people, how I explain how the Andromedans are, like, because obviously as earthly people, we have to, or people have to perceive an alien or an energy as with a form, yeah, or have a, you know, a mass, okay? But the Andromedans don't have a mass. They are more of a, imagine a water bubble. It feels like they're like that. They don't actually have a mass, or their mass is like a moving water or a moving liquid energy. Does that do you see what I'm trying to say? And the only way I can explain it is that when they come through, it's just, I don't feel like I have a mass, if that makes sense. And I've asked everybody, like I asked so many people, do anyone know anything about the Andromedans? I've looked up online and there's no information about them at all. And I just know that they're not a mass, like they don't need a vessel, if that makes sense. It's more of an energetic energy. They don't need a mass to hold their energy, if that makes sense. They are the mass within themselves, if that makes sense. And I know that the where they come from, that is a galaxy of many planets, and within that galaxy, it's a very I would say it's very water based and very fluid.
Interesting.
So,
do you have a connection to dolphins and whales and things like that as well, or?
So I'm an earth sign, I'm a Taurian, but I absolutely love the sea. And on a couple of meditations that I've done with Scott Grant, through some of the healing courses and stuff that we've done, I always go into Atlantis. There's definitely an Atlantis connection there, I think, sort of. And every time I've gone, I've instantly, been completely at home in the sea. Love the sea, would love to live by the sea. So water, I do have a real passion for water, but never really ended up living by the sea as yet. But that's that could be a beautiful goal.
Maybe
one day.
Could be pulled to
yeah. But so, I feel with the Andromedans, when they, all I feel with them is, it's just so pure. I can't explain it. It's just like, it's like being in the hands of the creator. It's like I can't really, it's just beautiful.
Wonderful. It's wonderful.
So you never know, they might come through.
Maybe. I think if we can, maybe we should start. I was hoping to do a little mediumship, but maybe we should focus on your channeling. Maybe that would be the best way to do it.
I don't mind.
Would be the best for you. I was going to have you do like a little demonstration, but I don't know if that's something. Maybe it's better to do the channeling.
It's funny how we've ended up talking about the channeling, isn't it? Yeah. I'm tending to just go with what my energy, I'm quite a very easygoing sort of medium channeler. I just go, okay, guys, what do you want to do?
Well, ask that question and you tell me then. What do you feel is what do you feel?
Okay, I'm just going to ask my family a second to just remember that I'm working, and I shall be back 2 seconds.
Just one moment.
Guys, can you just remember I'm about to do some channeling? Thank you.
Have you ever done a demonstration with another medium? Yeah. Do it. We used to be like tag team. It was really good that way. Okay.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's really good because you can sometimes also pick up on the same person and different family members coming in and all sorts. It's great. Yeah, on stage and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna let I'm gonna let Jonathan come in.
Okay.
And going to go from there and see what.
Does he usually give like a talk, or how does that usually go?
So he tends to come in and he'll introduce himself, say hello, and then then just say I'm just like, he comes in kind of, I think he kind of checks my energies in a way, if that makes sense. Sees how things are going, says hello, and then he tends to take out, like, step back, and then lets the other
Okay, do you need anything? Do you have a time limit? For like, you need water, or you need something?
I've got water here. Let's say time limit wise, no, because Jonathan literally does all the work in that respect.
Okay. All right,
Jonathan
the webinar goes for another hour and a half, but we can stop it whenever he feels like, within that time period. Not long, we won't go longer, but I'm just saying within that time period. If he says I'm done, then we're done. We'll come back and do something else.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine.
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to take myself off the screen, put you on the screen, and I'm here if you need me, and I'll just Jonathan. Okay. I'll be back.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just adjusting a few things a moment. Yes, it gives us great pleasure to be here today. It is a great honour. We've been waiting for this moment for quite some time. It's been a great honour for us to be able to step forward and to greet all of you today.
I'm very happy that you're here. And this is Jonathan we're speaking with.
Yes.
Thank you, Jonathan. Can you maybe explain to everyone your role as you work with Melanie, and what is your sort of job or your role in her channeling?
It would be my pleasure. So I'm sort of the, how would you put it? I kind of keep everything in control, if that makes sense. I tend to be, how would you put it? Some people say I stand on the side and I check who can come forward into Melanie's energy field and whether they will fit, if that makes sense. And that she is always kept, soft and gentle, because her energies can be a little bit difficult sometimes to work with, if we're honest. She's a bit nosy, you see. So sometimes, yes.
Okay.
So sometimes allowing her to, or ask for her to move fully out of the way can sometimes be a bit of a situation. But I tend to be the person that steps forward and allows her to slowly allow herself to move fully out of the way, to allow the other energies and beings and guides to step forward and works through her. So I tend to be sort of like the gatekeeper, I suppose. That's what some people would call me, if you know what I mean.
Yes, that's a term that I would use. Yeah.
Yes. So I tend to be the gatekeeper to who I would let in, if that makes sense. But she tends to allow me to step forward quite easily, as you can see. And it just takes a few moments. She tends to hang around and be very aware whilst I'm with her. But it just kind of allows her energies to allow me to step forward. And then we can allow other energies to step forward and to work through her energies. We've been working together for quite some time, but not on such a level. It's only been this last, I would say, about 3 years that we've really been getting a closer communication and contact and ease, so that the channeling can be facilitated in a better context, let's say.
So, Jonathan, your origin is where?
My origin is Pleiades, but
Okay.
I come through as a gentleman of an English gentleman for her, so that she understands who and what I am. I have been to the earth plane many times for the experience and the understanding of the earth plane. For I like to facilitate helping the earth plane people and helping them to evolve in this time.
Understood. And have you worked with other channels before, or are you specifically tied to Melanie's energy?
I work with just Melanie. Yes.
Understood.
I've not worked with other people. No, we have chosen to work with Melanie and other people it was agreed for this time, for the aspect of bringing forward the energy for this time and the uprising of the beautiful energy of the awakening time in this aspect. Do you understand?
Yes, very much. Thank you. It's interesting because my own the beings I channel have also used phrase like, we chose this for you. They would say to me, we've done this for you so you can understand. So I was smiling when you were saying that, because I recognize that very much, and how it's important that the connection is made and the understanding and the trust is made. So it's I can understand why you would choose your name, your persona to fit what she would understand and trust. Yes. So as a message, Jonathan, what is your primary message, if there is one, or are you being channeled in and of yourself, or are you simply gatekeeping? Are you bringing forth messages, or is your role really to facilitate the channel?
That is a question. I would say that I am more the facilitator. Yes, I'm more the facilitator for the channel. But when Melanie is teaching, I do come in and I facilitate, but I also do have an aspect of communication with the people in the room. And if there is ever any questions like this, I am quite happy to communicate, if you understand my meaning. So I come forward to communicate as well, but mainly as a facilitator to the next part of the aspect of what we would be working on each session, as it were.
Wonderful. So who is going to be coming through today?
There is a few.
Okay, perfect.
There is a few. So Melanie has not been managing to sit, you see. recently, as she said earlier. So there are always people, or I say people, energies that would like to come through. As you know, as a channel, there are always many people waiting, and energies and beings to come forward to show and talk about what they would like to perceive in this time, and in this great time upon this earthly plane right now for the great awakening, as it were. So there tends to be a few that would like to step forward. At the moment in time, I have an energy, as it were, a lady, or but you know, in she will come through as a gentle female energy, but the energy actually does not really, as it were, have a sex, as it were.
Okay. And are these beings able to take questions from our group? Would different people be able to ask questions of these different beings, or are they purely come through, give a message, and go? How does that work?
They will be able to take questions.
Perfect. Okay. Well, we have a room full of people that I'm sure will have some questions. And if you are ready, or if you have anything else that you would like to share with us, please do. And then we can maybe move on to some of these beings that are standing in line, as you said.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I shall step away now, and thank you very much for welcoming us today. It is a great pleasure and honour, like we've said before. So yes, if you just allow us a few moments.
Please take your whatever time you need.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Who are we speaking with?
We do not be recognized by name. Our energies, our communication in the energies we recognize each other from, who we are from the vibration.